Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to the Super-Spook Bot Showdown of 2016. My name is Daniel and I'm going to be your host tonight as we watch two teams of expert-level AI bots battle and duke it out for the territory that is the beautiful Man Manor tonight. Both teams are absolutely raring to go with at least 12 minutes of prior practice to this showdown, so we are surely in for a spectacle. And this event would not be possible without the significant help and contributions from Doomsday's shelter for homeless Hoovies, providing sandwiches for your Hoovies on the street and some cardboard boxes, if we can afford them. And it looks like the red team is going for the please God don't notice the pumpkin bomb strategy, where they all stand together within range. Blue team is going to have to pay particular attention to this, or possibly just utilize a single demo man, and they should be able to kill the entirety of the reds. And as the events kick off, we're going to be joined by our guest commentator today, Marasmus himself. How you doing, buddy? Wise words indeed, and it looks like the blue team has already had its attention diverted as a single spy at spawn distracts half of the entire team. But this has not lowered the integrity of the blue team's push whatsoever. It seems that most of the red team is currently scattered and trying to just lob as many projectiles as possible when they get back. And hey, it's me! Oh, okay, we don't seem to have any time for that though, as Totally Not a Bot seems to be approaching for some sneaky shenanigans here, uncloaking directly in their faces and trying to hide behind the sign. Ooh, but that blow to the pelvis is going to end his life right there. On the plus side, the blue team does seem to have complete control of this point. And if the insurance can come in faster than the red team can get back to the point, the blue team might receive a hefty sum. And speaking of loss and damages, someone else's sentry here is simply not going to be able to survive the relentless onslaught that is a pyro dying in front of it. And fearing the disappearance of their idol, the red team has called off their push. As we proceed to stage 2 of Man Manor, just in time to witness as Heavy and Medic suicide themselves, we notice the red team has developed a strong phobia of doors, as indicated by this soldier, who simply runs away in fear. It is going to be a strenuous affair for the blue team to push through stage 2 here of Man Manor. But it's time to cast aside all preconceived notions you might have of this second stage, as we enter the most glorious trade-in of projectile spam. The strategy for this exchange is to make sure that you stand still when you launch your projectiles so that the enemy has a better chance to hit you. The Freeman here is displaying this tactic masterfully as he stands next to the pumpkin bomb to taunt the blue team, but it looks like they're fed up with the projectile spam as two of the blue team have decided let's go party in the shed, because why not? Totally Not a Bot seems to be perplexed by the affairs of his human companions as another spy decides to join them in the shed. It looks like the blue team is mounting a very dangerous maneuver here as we see several of their team going for a huge push. At the heart of it, a stationary overcharge to provide the medic and his pocket do not move whatsoever, and unfortunately, despite all of their best efforts, they accomplish feck all. The red team is so confident in their defense that the legendary soldier Beep Beep Boop has assumed himself to be a sniper and takes his rightful place next to the other sniper on their team, because if they're not bundled together, they're not doing it right. And a dramatic pan and sweep back over to the blue team reveals that they're coming in steady trickle and they have indeed got the teleporter link established. But what's this? The horseless, headless horseman has greeted the blue team right in the heart of their steady trickle back to the map. Mindless Electrons has no idea even where he is. He's so confused by the arrival of this man without a horse. And the red team even seems to be panicking a moment or two here as they launch a steady attack on the horseman. Oh, and unfortunately, Aperture Science Protocol is going to bait the horseman back over to the red flank as he's now tearing through the ranks and giving the blue team a big old scare. Carnage is being wrought here as the medic is trying to pocket the sentry next to him, but the horseman is simply going to be tearing through his team. Tactical overcharge right there as he remains stationary to protect his soldier pocket. And unfortunately for the blue team, not even the more than capable red team is able to put a stop to the horseman as he takes his fill of souls. He's going to be having a healthy feast tonight as he simply keeps tearing through their ranks. Screams of terror going up from the blue team's ranks, but what's this? The Headless Horseman's AI protocol has kicked in! He's offed himself! Both teams can now rejoice in this knowledge. Unfortunately, it seems to be the red team in particular that is capitalizing the most of this as they are heavily grouped together. The soldier trying to shoot his own heavy and just getting the back end of an overcharge from his good buddy C++, who apparently seems to be struggling on the chimney on the upper ledge. But swinging back into the action at the choke point, we have Haxor now throwing his hat into the projectile spam. A new contender on the block. He's going to quickly make like Icarus and burn himself too close to the sun. We see Shell here strategically position herself right next to the pumpkin bomb once again to taunt the blue team. And it looks like the blue team could use some rallying together as C++ runs in the opposite direction. And the horseman is back once again! Marasmus, what are your thoughts on this? I'm not sure what exactly he said, but that was a really well-rolled door. It looks like the Horseman is going to go for the high ground to try and get the jump on the blue team, and unfortunately, as they just simply stare him down, C++ looking into the depths of his eyes, getting lost in the magic there. The entire blue team is going to fall once again. A very ambitious sentry placement, I must say, directly on the point. But Aperture Science just rolling in there to clean it up, doing what he must because he can. The Horseman appears to be displaying a remarkable awareness of his limited lifespan. He's going to take a quickly swipe at Shell before he's instantly slain, and oh, he's just going to come back. That's a very cheeky respawn considering Jesus had to wait at least 3 days, but thankfully the blue team does have a sentry on the scene, which is hopefully going to be able to ward it back, and they do have enough people on the point that they're actually going to be able to cap it. Despite the relentless onslaught of the Horsemen in their faces here, they seem to be mounting a push for the last point. And it looks like it's time to enter the newest of choke points, the dreaded corridor. Marasmus, what are your thoughts on this matter? Marasmus, that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. In fact, you just talked over the arrival of the Headless Horseman here, who's now seems to be assisting the blue team, in particular in their push. He's going right into the wings and taking out the snipers that the red team had in reserve, and some really oblivious engineers. How can you not notice being partially decapitated? Oh, this is just blatantly unfair. My god, I didn't even know there were 2 horsemen. God, they're both in the red spawn. We cannot stop or cancel the Super-Spook Bot Showdown in any capacity. It's a sacred event. Me seems to understand this, and he's going to build up a sentry in advance to defend themselves against the onslaught of double the horsemen. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a tough one for the red team. Oh my god, that's a third. That's a 4th horseman. Oh my god. No, there's only supposed to be at least 4 horsemen max. They don't go up to 7. They don't go up to 8. Oh my goodness, the red team is going to have their work cut out for them. The lone level 1 sentry does not seem to be doing near enough damage to face the onslaught of all of those axes. And oh my god, they're going into spawn. Oh no, they're going in. Oh, this is just brutal. This is just so unfair. Me doesn't even know where to start. Shell is just confused with the rocket launcher. She's not even sure where to start in the face of so many. Oh my god. They're not supposed to spawn in there. They're not supposed. Oh no. No. No, Marasmus, now is not the time. Marasmus, this is not helping. We have a crisis, ladies and gentlemen. Oh dear god. Hold on to your heads, everyone, because we've got a hell of a lot of horsemen. The match must continue. We have no means of stopping this many horsemen. Our experts are not trained enough for this. Red team is going to be trapped in their spawn. Blue team is going to have difficulty simply entering the place, given the sheer volume of Headless Horsemen here. There's at least 33 of them here. Red team even being spooked before they entered the spawn. Look at the sheer volume of them simply on the point. If blue team wants to have a chance of even getting close to this, they need to wait for the horsemen to be baited by the red team. And they gotta go for it. If these horsemen turn around, they're dead at any moment. These guys aren't coming back. They're gonna have to bear the horrors of this site for the rest of their lives. That soldier couldn't handle it, so he killed himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Super-Spook Bot Showdown 2016. Despite all the atrocities we've witnessed today, we're going to be presenting the blue team with a complimentary voucher for €2 off their next glazed donut from Dunkin' Donuts. It's only good for 1 donut, so they'll have to share, and no sprinkles allowed. But we hope that might help deal with the PTSD I'm sure we've caused. Thank you for watching the Super-Spook Bot Showdown 2016, everybody. My name has been Daniel, and if you'll excuse me, I gotta clean up this mess. Hey, housekeeping, could you send another house round?